In today's education news, how will schools react to the disgusting scenes we've seen in this country over the past week? Before we get into this article, I want to completely and utterly condemn these far-right riots that have been happening. It is absolutely disgusting and has no place in our society. The violence we've seen in these riots, the stories you're hearing of people who are fearing leaving their own house, it's just unacceptable. It has got to stop. And the scenes last night with the counter-protests outnumbering the far right, showing me that this is just a small minority of bigoted, racist voices being amplified through social media algorithms. This is the reflection of our society. Love will always win over hate. But I know there'll be so many fellow teachers and school staff really affected by what they've seen over the past week. Now, the Chartered College of Teaching has said that the government should urgently convene a working group in the wake of the violence erupting across England to look at what schools can do to address the urgent social issues and the support they need to do this. The NEU, the country's largest teaching union, has also urged Labour's curriculum review to address the urgent social issues it says are fueling the riots. Now, a spokesperson for the Chartered College said that while it agreed with the NEU that significant and immediate focus needs to be placed on schools, the curriculum review is limited in scope and the issues that need addressing here go far beyond the curriculum, which is why they are recommending this specific working group that the government must put together to look at what schools can do and the support they need to do it. However, they do say that schools are immensely stretched both in terms of capacity and finance and cannot be seen as a solution to all of society's problems. Schools are facing and responding to the impact of divisive and racist rhetoric on a daily basis, they said, adding that the effect this has on school staff cannot be underestimated. Figures published by the Home Office last year revealed that those aged 14 and under accounted for the largest proportion of referrals to the Prevent Counter-Terror programme in 2 of 9 categories, these two here. I feel that social media needs to take so much more responsibility for how we've got to this point. And that's been backed up here, saying that schools need support from other parts of society, including these social media companies where the platforms are the source of that misinformation, disinformation and vile content. Experts have previously warned that schools and teachers need more training to effectively teach children about online harms. Social media is clearly at the heart of the challenges. Even though schools are addressing a lot of these topics through PSHE lessons, we need to do so much more so that students are growing up to be responsible and positive digital citizens and being skeptical, being able to critically evaluate the content they see online to see through so much of this misinformation and disinformation. Also talks about the impact it can have on teachers as well. The Education Support, a charity that supports the wellbeing of education staff, said that many people working in education will be deeply affected by the violence and racism displayed since the heartbreaking events in Southport. So they also added that it's important that teachers and staff feel supported and guided to make space for constructive conversations that do not fuel further division in classrooms. This has also been backed up by the Teacher Development Trust, saying that teachers and leaders may need support to process their own emotions after everything that's happened. I think this goes without saying, but schools have been urged to be mindful of how the riots will have affected pupils. Schools need to be well prepared to support any child that's traumatised by these riots and violence. So do you think a teacher working group is necessary, is needed, would work? How are you thinking of approaching discussing this issue in class with your students? As I said at the beginning, completely and utterly condemn these far-right riots. It's got to end, and hopefully counter-protests last night showed that love will always win over hate, and I just hope everyone can stay safe.